ex-boyfriend, presumably, is sending me anonymous emails in which he pretends to be a variety of characters. Can I prove that it is him? I believe my ex-boyfriend has been sending me anonymous emails for almost a year. In these emails, he pretends to be different characters, either authority figures or fake family members and romantic partners. The frequency of these emails is increasing. I've received more in January than in the rest of the year combined. The emails either say, "I miss you and you abandoned me," or demand that I apologize right now. I went to the police. They laughed and treated it as spam, suggesting I just block and delete the emails. While I do block and delete them, he keeps creating new addresses with increasingly strange stories. This isn't spam. The sender knows personal information about me. Pedro had both my phone number and email address, which is unusual for spam. I think he might be using the "this person does not exist" website to create faces for these fake personalities. He even pretended to be my miscarriage come back from the dead. I suspect he just wants me to respond, no matter how low he has to go to get a reaction. I'm trying to ignore these emails, but I've received many over the past few weeks. Is this common? Does anyone else have similar experiences? I've tried tracking the email origins, but the IP addresses lead back to Google's servers. Most are Gmail accounts with some Outlook and Tutamail accounts. I always search for these supposed senders. They aren't real people. Reverse image searches of profile pictures yield no results. These are some examples of what I've received from him recently. While mostly nonsense, they contain identifying details that show it's not spam. His latest email included original artwork. One user comments, "I strongly urge you to contact the police again. Creating a paper trail is crucial in these situations. Consider reaching out to a domestic violence organization for guidance as well." The emails show deeply disturbing behavior. Notice how the writing style remains consistent throughout. Pay attention to the grammatical patterns. They're identical in each message. And look at the timing: 6:15 p.m., 6:11, 3:40, 3:39. What other timestamps do you see in your emails? This can't be coincidental. Change your email immediately. Follow through on the suggestions others have made. And if you don't have security cameras at home, I strongly recommend installing some. Another user comments, "It's alarming that he invited you to his house on January 25th. This suggests he's escalating to in-person contact. Please report this to the police immediately. Explain that you fear for your physical safety." The original poster responds, "I think you are right. That one totally alarmed me, because it feels like things are slowly escalating." This was his most recent message, sent January 24th, giving very little notice for the party. It's also the first time I received artwork, an invitation, or a specific date. I am concerned that these are going to get increasingly specific until he's outside my front door. One user asks, "Does your ex have a history of mental illness?" The syntax and repetition in these emails are extremely reminiscent of schizophrenic graphoria, or otherwise rambling that happens during a psychotic episode. One user comments, "Call the police back using their non-emergency number during day shift." Request to speak with a domestic violence detective specifically, as regular patrol officers may not give this the attention needed. While this will be challenging to prove as a crime, remember that emails contain IP addresses, and phone apps maintain records of owners, IP addresses, and history. For cases like this, details are crucial. Consider changing all your passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and verifying your recovery email addresses and methods. Another user advises, turn off read receipts in your settings for both emails and phone. This prevents him from knowing if you've seen the strange emails, which may discourage him over time. Don't reply, don't get angry, don't text, don't call, and avoid clicking any links. This approach shows him that sending 50 unhinged emails only gets him zero attention. For unbalanced individuals, even negative attention feels rewarding compared to no response at all. So give him nothing. A third user suggests, don't delete these messages. Instead, move them to a separate folder or tag them for archiving. You'll want this evidence available if you need to show law enforcement or present it in court. Consider removing this post or the image file since it shows email addresses that could attract unwanted attention from others trying to investigate. If these aren't ordinary spam, you don't want the sender knowing they're getting any attention. The emails don't contain direct threats and may be AI-generated content. They could be from a spammer building a record of delivered messages before sending actual spam. Download the emails, report them as spam, block the sender, and if the situation changes to indicate a real threat level, then seek additional guidance. While these situations can be frightening and frustrating, there are concrete steps victims can take. Preserve evidence, avoid engaging with the harasser, strengthen online security measures, and seek help from domestic violence specialists who understand these modern forms of harassment. Remember that what may seem like just emails can be part of a larger pattern of concerning behavior that deserves to be taken seriously by law enforcement. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and don't hesitate to reach out to professionals for help.